Så nu ser jag lite ljus.
Bra hårdag idag.
Vad sa du?
Bra hårdag idag.
En hård dag idag.
Hårdag?
Hårdag, bad. Ja.
Hur är din hårdag?
Kanon.
Ja.
Den är, du ser ju.
I can probably sync with your cough.
Yeah.
Yes.
We could. But do it.
Can you do it again? What's up, everyone, and welcome to Coffee with OLA. Today I'm very excited and thrilled to have a very good friend of mine, Jocke Skog, of the band's Clawfinger. Feared.
Yes.
Sorta.
Do we exist?
Oh, that's how you break the question. Are you still in the band?
Yeah.
I just said it.
Yeah.
If you want to.
Yeah, sure. It's always good, keep me on the resume. Yeah,
Yeah.
Back in the days when we were playing together.
I have to tell you a story. When I was maybe 12 or 13 years old, I went to a local show here to watch Clawfinger, your band. And I was in the front of it all, and I untied Zach's shoes.
That's awesome. I think I remember that.
No.
But the thing that we have been...
Zach's the singer, by the way.
Yeah. And he's tall and he has a... Yeah. Anyway, I remember we had been rehearsing there, and it was for the tour that we were gonna do 95 or 97. 95, 97. Well, I don't know. So as a thanks, we did sort of like an unofficial gig at that beautiful place. It was called
Elverket.
Electrical work.
Yes. Yes.
The power plant of Lidingö.
Yes. And I was I guess you were kind of young still at the time also. I just remember myself, I was a teenager.
26, something.
26, yeah.
Depends on what year it was. Like, if you
90...
take the year and then you add 1 year,
yes.
like 93, I was 24.
Yes. And you're the...
95.
I don't want to say this wrong. Are you the keyboard player?
Yeah.
Or like sampler and basically all the electronics?
Yeah, when you start off as sort of like a piano, you had a piano at home, and then you realize that, okay, it was more fun to remove the panels and, press the pedal and draw with your spoon on the strings to make like scary noises. That's much more fun than actually playing like snore.
I played that.
Yeah, well, we all did, sort of. My brother, he played until he could play Fyrlis, and then it was like, okay, fuck off.
Yeah.
Can you say that?
Yes.
Yes,
Go
good.
ahead.
And it was like, I'm never going to play the piano again. So he didn't. And I was like, it's even more boring than that. Maybe I had a bad teacher, maybe I had something else. But another brother had a friend who had old synthesizers. This is in the 70s.
Right.
So he bought these expensive gears with a bazillion knobs, and that's where it started. So I got my first synthesizer when I was young, like 12, 14.
What was like the main influence, like band-wise, if you're into synthesizers?
Yeah, that would be, the obvious ones like Pink. Oh, there's your the Puffskydd.
Oh, the Puff. Okay, thank you. Continue.
Yeah. Well, of course, if you're as old as I am, you have the Kraftwerk stuff, and you had guys like Jean-Michel Jarre. It's still, a huge string machine through a small stone phaser.
Also, my brother's biggest influence back in the day. My brother's a keyboard player.
Aha!
There you go.
Olof
and I remember Michel Jarre. And
Jean-Michel
Van Damme. And his laser show.
Oh yeah. That is so dumb, but
that was cool.
Apparently
I thought it was cool.
But it's really, he's wearing his gloves and he's just standing there like, Vroom! And it's like an 80s sound. It's really interesting.
And it's also in Egypt, like at the
he's done that one.
He's done a really a New Year's show.
Yeah, he has done a lot of weird shows. The Houston thing was the first time.
Okay, that's too far for me. I don't know.
That's like that was the first, huge thing he did. It was something in Houston, and he was like doing all the light shows were on the actual skyline of the actual houses. So people, there was like 7 million watching.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah, it's on the interwebs, I guess. Yeah. I love this cop.
Is he still active?
Yes,
Okay.
I saw him the other year when he was doing some sort of 200,000 years ago. I released Oxygen.
Oh yes. Okay, gotcha.
And he started off. He was kind of a like DJ.
Is he actually playing?
Dorky.
I was just about like, is he actually playing or is he like just programming a computer?
What's that over there? I don't. Well, it's like how to
Or is it
divert
more?
the
Is it more about triggering? Like,
That was kind of how I played when I'm doing live. I'm
course.
using triggering, but you know, Sean Michel. I don't know how he does it, but you know, there's a lot of maybe it's backing tracks, maybe he's pressing everything analog because he's been doing that.
Yes.
Like back in the day, so he could do it, but at the same time he can just plug a USB stick and it's like send the code, here we go.
Yes. Exactly.
And then it's like I am playing all
Yeah.
the
So
stuff
it's
at the
almost like a
same time.
DJ, maybe if that's the way he.
Yeah,
does
he
it.
acted like a DJ, and that was kind of silly because he's like 200 years old.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a DJ when I'm 200. Well, I do.
Yeah, you are 200 years old and you're a DJ.
Almost 198. Thank
Yeah,
you.
okay.
But thanks. Yeah.
So you've also done music for video games,
Yes, I have.
which is for me something I truly respect.
Thank you.
And it's for Counter-Strike.
Yes,
You did like a metal pack.
I've done 3 metal packs.
Shit.
Yes.
Is this for OG or what is it? Go. It's Counter-Strike OG.
Counter-Strike OG
No.
in the night.
Go.
Yeah, it's one of those, you know, when you it's kind of like the original story Clawfinger, that you skid on a banana at the same time, you know, you slide in from the left because the record companies are looking for a Rage Against the Machine band.
Yes.
And basically what they were doing is that they were thinking about doing music kits, so you change all the music in the game. And then they asked, you know, acts like Slayer.
Yes.
And Slayer said, yeah, sure, send us the money. And it's like, ooh, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah, no.
Then it's a no-go. So they needed to have like, you know, because the Steam system is like, it's the market economy of, it's like a total, it's like its own country, sort of.
Okay.
So everything is done electronically, and everything is done, the rules are market economy, and that's it.
Right.
So, you know, when yeah, sure, I can do it. Can I get one for free? And it's like, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
So basically I had to buy my own music kits because otherwise you fuck the system up.
Oh, okay.
And that's a classic.
It's a system where everything generates money
it's
in
the
one direction all the time.
purest market economy you
Yes,
can find.
okay.
And you can't touch it.
Yeah, okay.
And that's
Which
the
I guess
whole
is
thing.
good. It means
Well,
that
for
it doesn't
economists,
take advantage of.
No, it doesn't, and you can take advantage of it,
Okay.
and that's kind of the point. So yeah, so I was like, okay, good. It was like I had to check it out because I haven't played. Like, for me, it was Counter-Strike because I played Quake 3.
1.6.
Yeah, well, you know, when I played Quake 3 back in '99, 2000, then it was like, okay, so yeah, this game Counter-Strike is like Counter-Strike. You lie in somewhere, you put a tent over there it comes.
That's actually not too far away from the truth.
It is. No, I know, and that was the thing. Because
Counter-Strike.
you know, when you play Quake 3, it's like full all in.
It's a lot more action.
So I'm like the opening. You know, when I start playing it, I felt like this is awesomely fun, and then I met my crew in MFM, middle-aged fat men.
Yeah. It's a clan.
Yeah.
Oh.
We had like, you know, everybody, we middle-aged.
Yeah.
And we do dumb shit, and first it started off as a joke in July 2014.
Yeah.
Because everybody was on vacation, and you know, come play with me, and I'm too tired. Wait, everybody's old.
Yeah.
You know, okay, interesting.
Yeah.
And then you talk grown-up stuff between you shoot people with the negative. It's kind of interesting.
Are you doing it online or did you actually go to a physical lawn?
That too.
Oh.
We have.
I've actually been toying with the fact of hosting a lawn.
You should.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
I'm kind
in
of
a
missing
second.
it actually. It's like I did that when I was a teenager.
And the thing is that it's stupidly fun.
Yeah.
Because you know, now you know, anybody hungry? Yeah. And someone takes the car and goes off to buy you know, pizza, and it's like, I can swish you the money.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's so simple. And it doesn't smell that bad because you find a place with like, you know, you have a sauna. Like we found a really nice place in Mora.
Ah.
Where they have like bunk beds, sauna, huge, shower, and huge room with a ping pong table, and people are playing, sitting like 20, 25
I need something like this. We talked about, Louise, Mora.
Öna bystuga.
Ölna bystuga.
Öna.
I'm trying to find a spot for where I can gather some members, like YouTube members, and do a lawn and just do nothing.
It's very cheap, it's very nice, and you can pay like 300 spänn, and then you get 1 gigabit in and out from the local internet company, and they raised it for the weekend for us.
Oh, shit.
And then of course, if you're grown-ups, then one guy is working in a printing shop, so he printed the backdrop that says MFM with, and
shit.
a couple of other guys are working as web designers, and like Peter, hey Peter, and he's doing my webpage right now. His hand.
Well, so it's actually gone to that point.
It's a lot of, because everybody's is grown-ups,
Yeah.
so suddenly it was like getting stickers. Okay, yeah, well, I'll put a sticker here and there, so everybody's, they have been
all the
geeks.
things that you didn't have as a kid when you started playing.
Exactly, it's beautiful.
Awesome, and people were mature.
Yeah,
and
sort of. Well, fuck it, yeah.
Well, I mean, if you play a match online, and you meet random people. It can get really ugly pretty fast.
It's kind of terrible, yeah. And that's why I was hesitant until he said, well, everybody's a grown-up. And I was like, oh, nice. And we were.
How did we get into this conversation from you making game music?
Well, you said something about game music.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
so
it was Counter-Strike. So
Counter-Strike, yes. So is this like a metal album for Counter-Strike,
well,
basically?
I thought it was, and the original idea was that you had like main menu is actually a song. And then you have like, choose team, 40 seconds, MVP, 12 seconds, and you have to, everything is time coded.
Yes.
And some of the things are start action, then, start round.
Okay.
And then you have like a background thing when you're choosing what type of weapon you're gonna buy. Like, dun, yeah, something cool like, okay,
has to get you in the mood.
I'm gonna get these, and then it's like when you start it's like the loop. You have start and stop points and loop points, and then you have to have like a count in for if it's gonna start on the drum fill, then it's gonna be one is there and a stuff like. So you have to be coding stuff at the same time. Time code at the paper that then you just punch in, and if you're lucky, it works.
Oh, that's cool.
So when you start, it's like da-dun-dun, here we go, yeah.
I would imagine it being actually kind of challenging and fun that you get these. You get these premonitions that you have to do it like this, rules, and then you just have to make it happen.
You have to make a metal album with a potato. Here you go, and it's like, this is so weird. And then after a while, it's like, well, if I carve it like a knife,
yeah, exactly. Oh, that's so cool. So you made 3 albums so far.
Yeah, I started with one, and then it was like, okay, maybe I can do another one. And they was like, yeah, sure, because you're always in touch with one of them.
And I mean, Counter-Strike is one of the most play games on the planet.
Well, that's the thing. It wasn't when I got the question. No. It was 2 million players each month, unique players. And I was like, wow, is it that big?
Yeah, exactly.
And I was like, okay, this is fucked up. And then I checked it on the internet, and it's like, okay, so they are playing in Poland, and there are like 10,000 people.
Yeah.
And it's Edvard who's doing the lights.
Yes.
Meshuggah Edvard.
Yeah.
So it's like, everything looks awesome, and people like...
Yeah,
and
exactly.
It's like, what? I have to start playing.
You're talking about live events now.
That's live event. Yes, they are playing, and 2 teams are sitting on the stage, and you can.
And it's a stadium basically filled with thousands of people.
Yeah, it is. You like 10, 15,000 easy, and everybody. So there's a lot of money. And then I realized that so the other game that had HOTS, Heroes of the Storm, they had like 30 million players each month, and it's like, well, okay, this is so much bigger.
Yeah.
Now there's around 12 million players.
In Counter-Strike?
Yeah, each month.
I mean, it's...
So basically like three quarters are cheaters.
I mean, it's so weird to think that, the music industry is so much smaller than the gaming industry.
It's so much smaller.
Now.
It's so much smaller.
Well, it was the other way around when we started playing.
But usually when you do something in the music industry is that you get paid for the music.
Yeah.
Like Mick Gordon, I guess he's getting like one-off...
A slab of money.
A slab of money, and we use your music and fuck off.
Yes,
awesome, well done.
Yeah.
But with the Counter-Strike thing, it doesn't work like that because it's all in Steam.
Yes.
So basically, if you do a music kit and people buy it, you get a percentage.
Yes.
And that's pretty awesome.
Does that percentage go into your Steam account?
No.
So you can only buy new games and new
That
music.
would have been so evil, but awesome at the same time. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, well, I can buy all the games in the world.
Okay, let me have a question, because in Steam you can ask for refund. Has someone asked for a refund of the music?
Well, the thing is that, yeah. Actually, yeah, I think so, because all I get is a graph of how many
Yes.
been sold, but I had minus on some
Oh.
sometimes. You know, that's kind of awesome.
That's
It's like,
great.
you bought it, buy it, and it's like, that fucking sucked. So yeah, well, and then I made the second one, and then I have Parrot playing the guest solo
Oh,
on
okay,
it.
cool.
So the first one was Skog,
Yes.
my last name, Metal.
Yes.
Second one, Skog 2, Headshot.
Okay.
And then I made the third one, Skog 3 Arena, of course,
Oh, okay.
because of the, yes, you know,
Okay.
3 Arena, Quake
Yeah.
3
Exactly.
Arena.
Exactly. And they're
See
fine
what
with
I did
that.
there? See what I did there? Wow.
Was that fine?
Well, 3 Arena is not really a trademark.
No, I guess not.
It's Arena, yeah, that would be weird.
But did they
But-
say anything? Like
No,
the-
they
when
didn't
you
say
delivered?
anything.
Okay.
Now they probably will. I'm sorry, guys.
So another thing that you're also doing is that you're an excellent metal producer.
Thank you.
Like really, really, really good.
Thank you.
Like how did that come about? Like why you're a synthesizer guy?
Yeah.
How do you come about, you know, the interest for metal guitars, for instance?
Well,
Like,
yeah, good question. I love the power of it. Like, well, it's the power of the chug.
yeah.
When I came from the keyboard things, and all my friends listened to Iron Maiden, and then suddenly I heard Metallica, Fight Fire with Fire. No, actually, before that I heard Metal Militia
Yes.
on radio. It was kind of a rock show, and I was like, blown away.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That sound, you can't make that with a keyboard. So I love that. It was chug
Yeah.
that I love. And then, you know, you hear other bands, and then it was like finding the fastest band on earth. It was kind of
Right,
funny.
right.
So, of course, I listened to Slayer, and then comes the black metal dudes. But the production was so bad that
Yeah.
it was like, I can't even hear what the fuck they're playing.
No,
So
no.
it's kind of, okay, useless. Back to Metallica, and then they made Black Album with the slowest song on
Yes.
earth, and it was like, okay, what should I listen to now? And from there, it was kind of trying to make the band members understand the
Yeah.
guitar riff that I heard in my head, because everything is about what you hear in your head.
Yes.
You know, I see colors, I see things in
Yeah.
music. And then it's about, okay, so he's playing guitar and it sounds like shit. It doesn't sound,
No.
so how can I change that?
Yeah.
And then you rent a huge studio in the early 90s because, you know, you have
That's
a
what you
record
did.
deal. Yeah, that's what you did. It's like $1,000 a day.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
of course. we all get it back later.
Yeah, right.
And we actually did. Yeah, but that's not it. Yeah. And then you sit there and you watch this, you know, technician, and they mic it up, and it doesn't sound like Metallica.
No.
It doesn't sound like Anthrax. It doesn't sound like where's the chug? Is it him?
Yeah.
Is it the gear?
Yeah.
That amp, it sounds really strange. Where did he put? Why doesn't it? And then you start the why question.
Yeah.
Always go with why. Why
Steve,
does it?
why?
Why? Yeah, Steve. Why? Why, Steve? why even do that? And you know, then you get by luck again.
Yeah.
You get to know, you know, when we made it, we can choose our own support band. So we chose Meshuggah.
Yeah.
And later on we chose Rammstein.
Yes.
And you know, those guys, when you talk to Meshuggah and you get beyond their craziness,
Yes.
sort of, and then it's like, okay, well, I do this and judge, and it's the best chug you ever heard. It's like, okay, I have to show me, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And then if you do this, how did that sound? Weird.
Yeah.
And then it was the epiphany of going into having your own studio, and then be able to have a salary and just sit and mic shit up
Yeah.
the whole days.
Yeah.
I've been here 12 hours. I mic'd Thomas
Yes.
with 2 microphones for 10 hours because he's rehearsing.
Yeah.
And then, okay, I gotta go home.
Yeah.
And the day after, I'm gonna mic a 4x12.
Yeah.
And then you have a guy like Fredrik Tornedal sitting playing. Maybe close it to the center, you know.
Yeah.
Then you learn a lot. And
You do that for a bunch of years, and
Yeah.
eventually you know what you're talking about.
Yeah, well, eventually you realize that you should put it there. I think it will work. And then you put it there and it works.
I have a question then. The biggest, the best. Is that your guitar tone?
Well, I wish.
Yeah, okay.
No, I wish I would have done it. But no, we used whatever.
Okay.
We had this thing of not using guitar amps.
Okay.
So we used the Boss GX700, the
Oh,
old
okay,
one
yeah.
that Dimebag used.
Oh, used.
Yes.
Yeah.
But and it was pretty good. But we used the sound samp because it was so convenient, and we used. But those sounds, well, you have to have EQ like you never EQ'd anything in your life.
Right.
You know, like the highest mountains and the deepest valleys. So basically, you talk to anyone and it's like, how do you do that? Well, you don't have any rules. You know, make it sound.
Yeah.
And then so we could do that kind of digitally, sort of.
Yes.
Digitech had this G1000 something,
Yes.
blah blah blah, and we used all of them.
Yeah.
And 5 years later, they were all junk.
Yeah.
So we bought so much gear that we just threw away when I moved out of the studio.
Yeah.
You're going to the electronic recycle thing.
Right.
One sampler.
Oh yeah, the samplers.
One sampler.
Wow, the most useful
16,
equipment. Yeah.
16 megabytes of ROM. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
buy.
Yeah.
Okay, buy 5 of
Those cost like several thousand.
I know.
And then
You know, it's
computer, and the
Yeah.
samplers on computer, and they're basically useless.
I bought the first the laptop. It was super expensive.
Yeah.
In like 2005 or something, and then it was like, I can prolong all the samples.
Yeah.
So basically, when we are live, we have bass, we have guitar, we have drums, and we have vocals.
Yeah.
And then if there's guitar samples, loops, keyboards, noises, weird shit going on, it's me.
Yeah.
I'm playing the rest. And so far, we don't go with backing tracks.
Yes. Okay.
Because if you go with backing tracks, it's like you start here and you end there.
Yes. Yes.
There is no fucking around the middle.
No.
You that's it.
Then it's it's a show.
It's a
but
show.
When you're free to do that, you can do whatever you want in between. I mean,
Yes.
there's room for mistakes. There's
Yes.
room for changing. There could be a problem.
Yeah.
And
It can be like, okay, so
or you might be in the moment, like you're fucking outside in the audience, and you
do
know.
it again, do it again,
Exactly.
longer. That's
Yeah.
like the classic. Keep going.
Yeah, exactly.
Or just
Exactly.
we have that. So several times in the middle of the song is like, yeah, okay, breakdown.
Yeah.
And then Zach is like diving out and it's like, okay, he's gone. Oh,
Please 5 minutes gone.
And then you're standing there. Where are you, idiot? You wave, and people start waving. It's like, no, not you. It's like, vocalist to the stage,
Please.
please. And then after a while he comes, and then it's like 3, 2, let's go. And we've tried. We had one song that was so difficult to play because all the samples were kind of syncopated. And so there was no one.
Oh, okay.
And for me to play like 8 different things in different time while drinking beer, because you have to, that was like, okay, let's do this backing track. And Zach comes in like a 16th note wrong.
Yeah.
And then you're standing there, okay. And it's like, we can't. I've tried to punch it in here. And everything is like, okay, everybody stares and it's like, stop playing. And fuck it.
Are you the guy that everyone watches? Like,
Yeah, of course. It is. It is like everybody's like turning to me, so I get like, burn. But
and you're like,
you get used to it.
Restart.
Oh, look, a burn.
Yeah.
So we started. I used Presonus, the Studio One.
Yes.
Because you can have like punch keys, so you jump around.
Right.
So I had like on that song, basically, I have verse or chorus. So if he comes in wrong, and I just keep playing the verse, and then I can re-punch the verse, and it's 34 samples. It's really
really quick.
really quick, and it doesn't matter. There is no glitch.
No.
So I could actually punch it in, and then we have chorus in 3, 2, 1, go, and everybody's like, fucking hell,
saved.
Yeah, and it's a lot of that, and of course, if you do something, then it's like, okay, he fucked up, and we can be much more relaxed about it.
Exactly.
Because you've been to shows when the backing track doesn't work.
Oh yeah.
Everybody's standing there. What?
We have a good story about that.
We have a couple.
Do we have a couple?
Well, I have more.
Okay. I have the one from when Feared played in Euroblast? Mm-hmm. And first time we're using in-ear monitors, and you're like, "Oh, we have to use in-ear monitors. It's awesome and amazing.
Awesome. It's gonna
and,
be
the rig is
fantastic.
going to be small, and it's going to be we can play to a click track, and it's going to be amazing."
And then we started.
And it was amazing. We rehearsed.
It
and
was,
it was amazing.
It was perfect, except
that
tiny detail.
When we played live, and the whole intro is really pumping up, the vibe and everything. Everyone was psyched to see Feared play in a very, very long time at Euroblast. A lot of people there, and we played. And like when the intro kicked in, and just before the first song started, you could hear in the PA.
Yeah.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
There was a drummer who made countings to every song. He said someone has to say 1, 2, 3, 4, so we get the counting of song. And
But this,
Jon was like, "Yeah, sure, I do that."
Usually this goes into the inner system, but this
Only.
went out
In
to
the
front of
PA,
house.
so everybody knew when the song starts.
Yes, it was amazing, and it totally.
And I was like, and we looked at each other and it's like, that's not just.
That's not how you started
That's
the
not
show.
it. Oh no, this
But
is.
I mean, the rest of the show was good. But I remember I went off
was
stage
like,
and
I have to go and check because of the monitor, the program for the actual sound card that had all the backing track. It was like, what is wrong? And it was that all the faders were up.
yeah.
I did send the aux sends to everybody,
right.
but I had the faders up. So the last send was actually the stereo out.
Oh, there you go.
So that's why. So as soon as I removed that, it was like, oh.
Yeah, I remember getting
was-
off stage after that show, like, holy shit.
And Jens
Came up like,
1, 2, 3.
it was actually Swedish. It was like, 1, 2, 3.
Oh yeah, well,
That was amazing.
I have
That's
another
my
one.
story. What was the other one?
Remember we watched Periphery and Dream Theater in Stockholm,
Oh yeah.
and their computer messed up.
Broke
So
down.
everybody was playing different tempos, and they had everything like guitar tone changes.
Yes.
So you can hear the riff, and suddenly the riff
Was clean sound.
was clean sound, and the riff was solo sound, and they were trying to do their very best. And that's like the horror of
It is.
click track when it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Technology is beautiful as long as it works.
Exactly.
So
And
that's
even
also-
Misha mentioned that moment.
Yeah, and he was like-
in his interview with me, actually.
Okay.
Because, after the show, John Petrucci came to them and like, okay, you better fix that shit. Like, for real.
Well, yeah.
I mean, they're opening up. And,
Well, yeah.
so they're putting Dreamfair's name on the line.
I have another one.
Okay, go ahead.
Rammstein, 2001. They had this huge intro, playing huge, and we supported them.
Okay.
It was like a thank you for letting us support, so we support, you can support, and then we have fun and old times, blah blah blah. Anyway, they had this huge intro about them kind of being birthed on stage, and they've been showering with people in lab coats and stuff, and then they kind of get the instruments, and then hear the intro for Mein Herz brennt, and then Till is coming out like Nosferatu out of a coffin, and then his heart is and it plays, and it's like holy awesome.
Yeah.
And they had 2 full-grown Macs in racks, and because we knew the crew, we knew everybody, so they have one backup computer, and then had one so they can switch between.
Right.
An intricate system of controlling. So Flake had like, next song is that one, and I can start now, stuff like that. And during the intro is like black.
Both.
Sound. Yeah. He had to restart both computers.
Oh my god.
And then it's like, okay, what's happening now? And everybody's like, because it's a part of the show, you never know. But there was no fire, so it couldn't be part of the show. So it was like, okay. Yeah. And we were standing there, oh my god, this is the worst that ever can happen. And it is.
Yeah.
So what they
All
did was
thanks to a couple of computers, basically.
And it was none's fault. It was just that, okay, something happened and both had just froze. And when it, and of course, it's a Mac, so it's like, it's your fault.
Yeah.
It's not me.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, so they started with the first song, and suddenly Till comes up, and you get the intro for Mein Herz brennt instead of the intro, and that was the only thing they could do.
Yeah. It's. I actually have another one. I went to a show. I'm not going to name the band because I think it might be a problem.
Yeah,
but
maybe we should.
I heard a sound check, and they were sound checking the kick drum track for a full song.
Wow, that's painful.
Which means the drummer actually didn't play the kick
So he
drum
was
the
sitting
whole
like-
game. Yeah. And that was kind of like a huge bummer, really.
Yeah.
I'm not going to mention the band because I think it would make an outcry.
Yeah,
in that sense, I wouldn't. I wouldn't do that.
That's the wrong type of backing tracks.
But it's sometimes it's I don't know why. Actually.
Oh, I have another one.
Okay.
When you have your backing tracks on iPhone, and you forgot to put it on flight mode. And mommy calls in the middle of the show, and it's super loud.
Oh my god.
Click to the left and then all backing track to the right in mono, and then suddenly the phone rings.
Oh, that sucks.
Louder.
Oh my god. What is your favorite like guitar equipment?
Oh, good
like,
question.
What is the best shit? Like, or a good combo of shit?
That's, I would say, to make a rhythm sound or...
Yeah, rhythm sound, obviously. To make the chugging sound.
Yeah, I would have pretty much any guitar.
Even like a Stratocaster single coil?
Maybe not.
Humbucker style guitar?
Yeah,
okay.
But actually, you know, single coil, as long as it's the bridge mic, it might actually work. Yeah. But you have to have a different type of boost for it.
Right.
And I would go with... Like the rig I have at home, it's actually pretty good. I have a bunch of different pedals, and then
Maybe you can take a picture so I can post it.
Yeah, okay, I can do that. Actually, I think yeah. Well, anyway, I would have some sort of guitar going into some sort of boost into a one-channel amp.
Yes.
And the reason for the one-channel amp instead of having all these 4-channel or 5,000 channel amps is that the more cables you put into an amplifier, the more noise you're gonna get.
Yeah.
So basically, if you have a one-channel amp that is done in a proper way, it doesn't have to be super high gain because, you know, with the pedal you are shaping the guitar into, and then it's gonna be pretty quiet.
Yeah.
And then you have high-quality equipment, you know.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes expensive is better. And that's it. And then you mic it with, I would say, 2 microphones.
Yeah.
One ribbon and one large condenser, or a dynamic and a condenser, or a dynamic and a ribbon.
Okay, a question.
Or all 3.
How do you place those 2? If it's a ribbon and a dynamic?
I'm
like
actually...
You have the... Okay, I have an SM58 here, for instance. So...
I would say you start with the 58 to get either one. Depends on the character you're after.
Yes.
Because you look for where is it, and then you're trying to follow. No, center is like noisy, and then you move it until okay, good, and then you take the other one, and you put it so you hear the phase shift.
So in a depth.
Yes, sort of.
Okay.
Yeah, and then of course in the sideways it's also all, and then when you blend them, and then you can move one of them, but keep the face going.
Yes.
So you know, and then it's like how you can fuck with it in the computer is crazy.
Do you ever feel that a ribbon mic, just one ribbon mic is enough, or do you always need the dynamic mic?
Some of the coolest guitar sounds have been with one Chinese fat ribbon only, but that depends on the cab. Because we were kind of lucky by mistake when we did the 2005 album, Hate Yourself with Style. We had used the Meshuggah huge there, had its Vetta 2s.
The Vettas, yeah, line 6.
Yes, it was line 6. So basically the whole studio was full of Vettas and line 6 cabs.
Yeah.
And then they went on tour and brought everything with them. So we were like, we were just going to record the album because we're going to record while they were on tour.
Yeah.
And they brought all the gear. So we were like, oh, yeah, I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
So we had to figure something out. So we had like the old Pod XT, and it sounded so terrible compared to the Vettas. So basically, I used like, here's a PA amplifier. I'm gonna try plug it in there and through the 4x12.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna mic it with, and I just slapped the first thing on it.
Yeah.
And just put it dead center, and it sounded awesome. And I was like, okay.
I mean, sometimes.
Because it was really super bright, you know, the fizziness of that worked perfect with the dark ribbon.
That's the thing. It's, I mean, a couple of years back when I mic'd something, you know, I would spend a lot of time just, you know, I have an amplifier and I have a cabinet. I would spend a lot of time finding, you know, the perfect spot. But you know, as you know, I just care less. Nowadays, you know, I just do like this. This is me setting up a guitar sound right there, like almost like not as cocky as that, but,
that is
basically this. Okay, a little outside, just like
you kind of know where it's supposed to be.
Exactly, I know where the speakers sound good. So, but you know, if it all depends on the amplifier as well.
Yeah.
So this difference right here can sound like asshole with a PV5150.
And that's also the thing with IRs.
Yes.
That it doesn't work.
Yes.
So, you know, when most people have done the IRs, they've been using one amp and they're doing IRs, and then it's like, oh, here, try this one. It sounds awesome. It's the best one. And you try it like, and it's like, well, why? And then it's like, okay, I'm gonna try something else. Like, and it's nothing. And I've done the same mistakes.
Yes.
Well, back in 2007, we started with IRs back 2001, 2002, because we had a small
guys.
We had a small room, so we used reverb as a fake, and we were putting Thomas into a whole different studio because we find IRs of that studio, so it sounded great. And we had measuring mics, so we just put them 1.5 meter away, 2 meters wide, and it was like again. It was really weird. And then, you can do speakers. You can do phones. You can do, you know, megaphones. You can do, wow, this is awesome. Yeah. And then you make these amazing IRs and you send it to people and it's like, and it sounds like shit because it was your settings.
Yeah, exactly.
Or it was Fredrik's settings, and those might not work.
Yeah.
So, you know, also I'm Replicant Audio. I'm doing IRs. I'm selling IRs.
Right, this guy is selling IRs, and this is the guy to get IRs from because he's one of the first one who actually started making IRs for guitar speakers. At least.
The cool part is that I have 2 packs on Replicant, and one is the Englund XXL, the big ass one.
Nice. That's
Angel.
Yes.
Kind of gives it away.
Angel.
Angel.
I think every brand that's trying to do Angel has always picked Angel.
Angel. Yeah. Well, fuck it. But that one, it was made, you know, back sitting with different mics and different settings. We used the XFX and we had JC800, rectifier, you know, and just to make a plethora so it would work anytime.
Yes.
And basically, those are the IRs that Periphery used on the first album. That MIDI. Really great for leads and it cuts through the mix.
I love how you demonstrated that. Amazing.
Sorry. And then I have the other pack from the Randall cab that I got after a couple of years ago when Joe just wanted to have a cab.
Yes.
And that's the T75 V30
X pattern,
yeah. And then suddenly you put one mic, and it's like, I love to blend it because what we did back in Fear and Loathing was had Fred's old T75 JCM800 cab and the Englund XXL, and we blended those with different mics, and then you got the balance.
Yeah.
And of course, you know, you change your micro, shift them a little bit. So the Demon pack, Angel Demon, it's so
of course.
we are super smooth. Yeah, it's so smooth. So the Demon pack is more like they sound okay, but if you start blending them, then it's more fun.
Yeah.
And some of them are made with I just put everything straight up. You know, all the controls like as neutral as possible, because then you can fuck it up later.
You know what just came to my mind?
Nope.
There's a piece of video equipment. You know what this is? It just came to my mind from nowhere. This is a glider.
So to make the camera move?
Yes.
But you can use it on the microphone?
Yes.
Yes, you can.
So basically you can put it here.
And then it's like...
And you know, this one I control with my phone.
Oh!
So I can be in another room.
Mm-hmm. Okay, then I'm gonna give
Revelation
you
of the day. Shit, that was unexpected.
Then I'm gonna give you another tip.
Okay.
I bought these noise-canceling Sony headphones.
Oh, okay.
So...
You can stand here?
Yeah.
Really? Does it work?
Well, not 100%, but it's a whole shitload better than, you know, having regular headphones. Because then you have to, you know, press them in, and you have to have...
Yeah, I know.
But these guys are like... that's better than I expected.
I need to check those.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that...
Oh, the Bose. That's the interesting... You know, those
I was thinking...
Gizmos and
I
shit.
think that they are gizmos being sold like this.
I know.
On Thomann. And I've always been like, I'm probably going to get one. But I just felt like, it's just
you have
just a fucking slider.
You have pretty much that. But you did it early in the early days when you had headphones.
Yeah, I did. I had headphones. I pressed and like
Yeah,
this.
you do.
And
Yeah,
you moved around the
exactly.
microphone.
I use like the in-ear phones.
Yeah.
That have a sound of hello, and then you have that, and you have pelters on top, just to so you walk around like a zombie. Like I can't hear. You see people faces like, and then you listen to the sound. It's like everything was pointy or shrieky.
Yeah.
So you put it at, okay, it sounds okay there, and then it was like up here or something.
Right,
or like, wow, that was awesome.
Yes.
As far away from speaking, wow, it sounds good. So it's like, yeah. So it's difficult.
I have one last question. How many hours do you think that you have set up a speaker trying to find that spot? How many hours have you spent?
10,002.
So
that means
seeing
I'm a professional.
Exactly, that's what I wanted to say. How many hours of Quake have you played?
Quake might be only around 6,000 hours.
Okay, but you're almost a pro.
Yeah, I'm almost a pro.
All right.
I'm not good at it, but it's
who cares?
It's different. I played Counter-Strike. I played like 4,500 hours. Yeah,
a lot more than me.
But the thing with Counter-Strike is that it's mostly fun when it's a Friday night and you're sitting with your buddies, and you might use something.
Yes.
Like coffee.
Coffee or a beverage or something like
and
that.
then it's kind of like you're ranking down. And
I think it's, I've been, not to, plug my membership, but I've been playing a lot of Quake and Counter-Strike Go, but we also started playing Mordau. Mordau, which is a medieval sword game.
Hack and slash?
Yes. And it's so incredibly silly, like Monty Python.
Yeah.
Basically, they're stuck with the sword in the trees, and and limbs going off and flying all over the place.
That sounds like. I mean,
it's so much fun because
is it controller based?
Oh no, it's on computer.
Okay.
So you should join. I should join you. You should join on my Discord actually and play with us.
I will do that.
Awesome.
I will do that.
Jocke, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
This was so much fun. We can go on for hours.
I know. Yeah. You had to stop me. I just started.
Yeah, I know.
Come on.
It's a lot of fun. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.
Awesome.